The girth of his what?
You're like a father to me.
Hey!
And go.
What's up, everybody? Adam from FWCI. This is the Rehearsal Series 3, Episode 5, Washington. So, alright, is this real Washington or is this rehearsed Washington? Is there a difference? If you want to watch a full-length version of this one, go to patreon.com/FWCI. I'm going to remind everybody later in the video, because I think a lot of people skip the intro, and fair enough. At the end of the last episode, we had basically the hint that Nathan was going to start rehearsing presenting this to Congress. That's what I took out of it anyway. And we went deep down the rabbit hole with poor Colin, who was just looking around everywhere throughout his date, just like, where the hell are these cameras? What's going on here? Poor guy could not be more nervous. But we've met a lot of people. We've met Mara D. We've met, remember Moody? That feels like it was a long time ago. And we've met, what's his name? Jesk? Jep? I think it was Jep, the guy who catches flights and not feelings. So I'm curious to see how and if these characters and these human fucking beings that we've met, how do they factor into the rest of the series? So let's see what the hell Nathan has got. Oh, also, there was a lady who was one of the Wings of Love contestants that made quite a lot of noise online about being deceived about what the actual competition was. So I find that interesting because this show made a point to show Nathan explaining to people this is to like get an opportunity to perform on another TV show that's got nothing to do with singing. So I think this person may have just not read the fine print personally, but let's see. Maybe they can join a lawsuit with Paramount Plus and Sully Sullenberger. Edit. Hang on a second. I've just found out after recording my reaction to the episode that Lana Love, I think is the name of the woman who believes that she was incorrectly led to believe that the show was something it wasn't. She's done a song about Nathan. So Patreon, you're going to enjoy the full length of this. YouTube, I'm going to have to edit it down, but I gotta see this before I do the edit. Let's go.
My cat at 2 a.m. is kinda like my cat when she's about to vomit. Oh, please don't torture kids anymore. Adults are okay to torture.
Alright, she's trying to go Kendrick Lamar on him, I see.
Adults are okay to torture.
Oh wow, that was absolute horseshit. Java Doodles, what did you contribute to this fucking masterpiece? Is there a thing of the lyrics anywhere? Alright, someone's already got the lyrics out. Verse, my cat at 2 a.m. It's kind of like my cat when she's about to vomit. So I understand that this person has taken comments from another Nathan Fielder YouTube video, a Shakira video, and I guess has just sung those. It's kind of like what my cat does when she's about to vomit. This man just ended Charlie D'Amelio's whole career. Mum, why does it take you an hour to shower? Me, it's complicated. What the fuck is this? This is just nonsense. Tears are coming out of my eyes, tears are coming out of my ears, tears coming out of my nose, feet, thighs, sockets, kids are coming out of my basement. Okay, so, be careful there, Lana Love, you'll fuck around and get sued. Wait, shit, gotta go, please don't torture kids anymore, adults are okay to torture. Wait, shit, gotta go, adults are okay to torture. Okay, you're an adult though, aren't you? This person? Sorry, Lana Love, I'm not buying it. That was terrible. Anyway, this is the Rehearsal, Series 2, Episode 5, Washington.
Why don't you say that the training could be improved?
The training could be improved because right now it's terrible.
No, I wouldn't go that far. There is a void in some training programs.
You said it was bad.
It is bad. The outcome is bad.
It's bad.
All right. Interesting to see how this old guy handles the rehearsal aspect of it.
So I had been rehearsing my approach with actors who had done in-depth research into every lawmaker on the Congressional Aviation Subcommittee.
Whoa! They went fielder method on him?
The research and...
Because if you do nothing, people will die. Right?
That's correct.
This poor guy's trying not to be too aggressive about it.
And their lobbyist said that he would reach out to the chair of the Aviation Subcommittee, this man.
By the way, if you want a full-length version of this reaction, patreon.com/FWCI is where you can get it. This one's for those who skip the intro. Let's get back to it.
I shared the story of how a real co-pilot like Colin was able to overcome his fear of social consequences and ask his crush for a kiss.
Don't bring this to Congress.
Up or being too assertive or taking the controls. Oh, I was just playing the character that the FAA told me to play.
Ooh, that's an interesting way to put it.
Nathan has invested a lot of his own time and money, and we
Well,
brought
not
it.
my own money, but
We brought it to this
network's money,
point.
yes.
We brought it to this point.
And the only evidence of this working was footage of a co-pilot kissing his crush on the cheek and not even going for the mouth.
You're going to have to forgive me, Mr. Fielder. I'm not following.
I'm sure all these old cronies, that's what they're thinking.
I don't know what you're talking about with this prank stuff. I really don't.
Well,
What do you mean, Nathan?
for a living as an
Excuse
actor,
me,
isn't
sir.
it?
I think you have a misunderstanding of my work.
You're splitting hairs there, Nathan.
And you don't want it to look like a joke if you want to deliver a good program. And this is this.
Wow. Golia is shooting from the hip. Bob Munden styles.
They often began by trying to make everyone laugh.
First, I should answer the question I assume many of you are asking. Yes, I'm aware this has nothing to do with the legalization of marijuana.
As evidence,
Yeah.
I would like to submit a video of my colonoscopy into the Congressional record.
Yeah, Seth Rogen does a ton of stuff for Alzheimer's research and stuff like that. So I'm here with what Nathan is exploring.
So by getting a joke out of the way early on, it allows people to take the serious stuff seriously.
There's no way to prevent.
Yeah, okay, good. Good plan.
The last time I had to answer to a transportation authority was when I got caught masturbating on that bus.
Hey,
But in my
do not
defense,
start
the
there.
driver did keep telling me to get off. So
It's a great joke, but not the place all the time.
it was just a little joke. So, you know, that's lighten the mood there. And
No, make a joke about the fact that you are a comedian. That's what you got to do.
deeply important to me, which is
Nathan, sipping during a thing. This is rookie mistakes.
Something was wrong with this rehearsal when no one in the room laughed.
What? People laughing about this?
the bus joke.
I love that bus joke.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. You're not supposed to laugh. I mean, you're not supposed to do anything. You're just supposed to act like a human, you know?
Okay, cool.
So if you find something funny...
Yeah, but it's hard to act like a human in that environment, though.
Nathan. Troy. Thank you, yeah.
Nice to meet you, Troy. He looks nervous, but he seems like a nice guy.
We're all playing like human beings, right? So if you as a human...
Yeah, Troy's like, yep, I know all of this.
But in my defense, the driver did keep telling me to get off.
That's a bit too much of a response. The joke was too powerful and effective, Nathan. I'm sure they got direction to force a laugh for that take, because that was hilarious.
But before I could fully figure things out, I got an email from the
I feel like you need a whole new group of people at that point to really reset the experiment.
declined a meeting with me, stating they didn't think it was the right fit for them.
Oh, Warner Brothers turned it down? Not into aviation safety?
All they would have discovered is nothing but a man acting like a complete fool. It was coming back to haunt me.
What the fuck is that? Hang on a second, Nathan. Hang on. What did we just see? Nathan Fielder on your side, being a responsible owner on Make a GIF. I don't know what the hell that's from, but if there was ever a image that encapsulated who Nathan Fielder is as a person before he became that person, it's definitely this.
Stumbled upon an article someone wrote about how this show, The Rehearsal, reflected their experience with autism. It was an odd perspective since this show had nothing to do with autism. But as I kept Googling, I realized it was everywhere.
Yeah, it's because everybody thinks Nathan is autistic because he's such a unusual thinking person, I guess. The social awkwardness, there's a lot of the symptoms, I guess, of autism, if that's even a word that you're supposed to use. A lot of the outcomes of autism. Definitely in Nathan's personality. The Rehearsal is a window into a neurodivergent world. Nathan Fielder's new comedy, The Rehearsal, will be familiar to anyone with autism. Fucking hell. Nathan Fielder's masking opus, The Rehearsal, is a work of autistic culture, whether he embraces it or not. As an autistic person, the Fielder method made me cry. What? Then when Nathan started acting as Thomas, it hit me that this is exactly how it feels to be autistic. The way he was confused by the fact that Thomas felt differently, how he tried so desperately to be the same but couldn't get it right, and played Thomas in the classes to understand that perspective. Just how Nathan looked out of place, like an alien learning about human behavior. It occurred to me that it was unintentionally one of the most accurate and poignant representations of autism I've ever seen. My boyfriend was cracking up during the last half of the episode, and I just watched in amazement. Such a beautiful episode. Wow. That's pretty... I knew that there was a lot of speculation about, is Nathan autistic? But that's a really interesting way to put it. Like, just putting him in that, or anybody in that situation where they're so out of their element and they're trying to adapt and they just can't seem to do it. For some neurodivergent viewers, including those with autism, The Rehearsal was also a profound example of on-screen representation.
Discovered that he happened to be a member of the Congressional Autism Caucus.
Oh. Okay, interesting.
Aviation Authority, but maybe by mistake, I was an Autism Authority.
Maybe. I love that he's just sitting in his airport doing all this, by the way.
And not just a punchline.
I mean, fuck, I believe in him. I really do. I love the way Nathan thinks. I want to see it do something of real serious note.
I guess what you're doing in the rehearsal is so important for everyone else to know what it's like to have autism, right? A lot of times people assume that if you're autistic...
It's a weird double-edged compliment, isn't it? Is Nathan going to get diagnosed in this series?
Fit in socially.
And everyone has trouble with
everyone
that.
has that.
Nathan.
Hey, this person could also be autistic.
Right.
You know, and you wouldn't know it necessarily because...
It sounds like she's calling him autistic.
Or it could be they could not be autistic and just, like all of us, want to, practice for a life situation.
Nathan.
To give me a better sense of how this works, she showed me a demonstration to explain how it
That was such a casual argument.
And it asks the question, how do you think these eyes feel?
Nathan.
Playful, comforting, irritated.
Playful. Christ, am I going to have autism? Am I going to find that out?
Or maybe playful, but
yeah.
Let's put one and see what happens. We'll put comforting.
Thank Christ for that. But Nathan, keep going.
Word describes what they're thinking and
upset.
feeling.
They're clearly upset eyes, Nathan.
The images are pretty low res. Huh?
Come on.
Okay, yeah, so I think I got it, yeah.
I hope he's taking this sincerely, though.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I know,
choose what you think on this one.
Yeah, terrified maybe at least, yeah.
Oh.
All right, cool, yeah. Was there anything else with this you wanted to show me?
You know, we've got 33 more. Get out.
Since I'm sort of like a thought leader maybe in this area, I don't know if you, that's not the term I would use, but would you use that term
Yes.
for me?
Okay, fine then. Let's keep going.
Because that I think might help me have some credibility with him.
Right.
What is all this, Nathan?
Okay.
But we built this whole airport.
That's amazing.
It is.
Practice quite a bit with our kids in order for them to be able to smoothly go through an airport experience.
Oh, really?
Is that right?
So that when they go on their actual flight,
Right.
they're good and they can handle it.
I mean, that sounds like a great idea. And just a question. She said airport loud noises is scary for a child with autism. Is she saying some children with autism? Because my understanding of it is that it's kind of very different and manifests differently. Or is it purely like a sensory kind of thing? Because my understanding is autism is like there's a whole different variety of ways that it can affect kids. And there might be kids that could easily go through a security thing at a airport, and there might be kids who can't. But anyone out there who's a bit of an expert on the matter, please let me know.
I made a commitment to myself we weren't going to use any kids in the rehearsals this season. Yeah.
Oh, right.
Smart fucking move. Oh my god. Yeah, I didn't even think that. Good lord. How is Dr. Farts? Oh, I hope he's good. I hope he's good. Fuck, that was bad. That was bad. I've never gone back and rewatched that episode or that reaction. That was absolutely horrid. So I'm glad to see that Nathan has learned his lesson. Oh god. Oh my god.
The
what
previous
happened last
show?
season, yeah.
Oh yeah, she would know, wouldn't she?
I thought you took pretty good care of the child actors.
Yeah, except the one whose head they completely fucking messed up.
You know, just like that episode, the last episode, like they can't really understand their emotions, the emotions of their own children.
Whoa, alright, this is getting pretty deep.
Provided that level of attachment that made him feel like he could call you daddy, you know?
Oh, yeah, that is another side of it, but we could not bring him back in. No.
See how it goes.
Nathan wouldn't do that.
Come on in.
Okay, he's just dealing with the autistic kids.
Excellent, Kai. It's very nice to meet you.
Wow, this is actually kind of amazing.
How are you feeling?
I'm happy.
You're happy? Okay, good. Good.
Without a rehearsal.
Oh my god, if this doesn't go completely off the rails, this is actually quite beautiful. I mean, you go to the shopping center, like, I go to the shopping center sometimes during the week, and there are days where, like, it's like sensory, like, supportive day or whatever like that, and they have, like, the lights turned down a lot more in the, like, you know, Big W or the big department stores. The music is turned down as well, and it's just kind of like a bit more of a pleasant environment, if I'm being completely honest. So having this giant makeshift airport and having this really authentic opportunity, I imagine this is quite productive for these kids. Constructive might be the word I'm thinking.
Oh, great.
Okay. The honorary event.
Okay.
Yeah.
As the
Sweet.
newest board member of the Center for Autism and Related Disorders, I was able to secure a meeting with
Love it.
This was my one shot to get in front of the aviation subcommittee.
So he's going to go in there with autism-related motives and then flip it into aviation? Oof.
Rehearsing actually isn't essential.
It isn't?
I like to do it, but it's not something I need to do.
Okay, makes sense. He's pretty fucking with it.
That's why I'm going into this meeting completely cold.
Okay.
I can function just fine without rehearsing.
You got this, Nathan. I believe.
Pleasure, honored to meet you. Thank you for having me.
Where are you from?
Vancouver, Canada.
Oh, I love Vancouver.
What the hell was his walking stick, by the way?
And you're also on the aviation subcommittee, I understand.
Yes.
Nathan's hand was shaking just then.
In aviation, I've actually learned and realized that there's a connection between autism and aviation.
Him. He is the connection.
I got Representative Cohen up to speed on the problem I had discovered.
This dynamic between...
Wow, this is a ballsy move, by the way.
What?
Autism. Pilots.
Oh, well...
Okay. What do you mean by that?
With autism, because people with autism, those living, struggle some...
The rehearsing, of course, of course. Come on, Nathan. What are you doing?
It's all thought out. Hold on.
Don't get a card out. Whatever. Just get to the point. Get to the point.
This is like, I feel like it's less engaging when I'm reading, but okay.
I usually do things off the cuff, but reading is good.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree with that guy completely.
I've discovered that pilots do a form of masking of their own, where they're afraid to show their true selves to each other during critical moments of flight. Does that make sense?
It's kind of convoluted, but I'll
it makes perfect sense. You're doing good, Nathan. You're doing good, young man.
When the pilots arrive for their flight, along with their pre-flight bulletins, they're each digitally sent a one-page document with a character description and 2 short lines of dialogue to memorize each.
All right. Yeah, go on. Hang on a second. What did that say about FAA regulations? Require you to remain in character from this moment forward. Okay. All right. So this is the hypothetical how it would actually play out. All right. Let's go.
First Officer Blunt is a pilot who loves speaking up. He's honest almost to a fault. Captain All Ears loves feedback and is not afraid to admit when he's wrong.
Ooh. People might just not participate though.
How does my uniform look? Looks a little tight, to be honest. I'm glad you mentioned that. Thanks for telling me.
Hang on a second. Is that a reference to our boy Jeff and his insanely tight pilot's outfit? It's gotta be. Bravo, Nathan. I appreciated that.
Actually bonding over how silly it all is.
If I come across strong, that's you know why.
I'll keep that in mind.
Yeah.
Which...
That's enough. That's enough.
Just kind of a blunt guy sometimes. We gotta make sure we get around this weather, you know?
I like the feedback. I like it.
Yeah, thanks.
I mean, this perfect world sounds great.
And let's work together to save some lives.
That's a solid presentation, Nathan.
A better relationship between the pilot and the co-pilot, and that would be good.
I agree. That sounds great.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Okay, good.
What? No follow-up?
Did you have any questions for me or anything else?
Not really. Thank you.
Wow.
Okay.
So that's what it feels like to be absolutely devastated.
Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Thank you for having me. And
I would have pushed the point and been like, is there any, like, is that a no forever or... Oh my god, that was fucked. That was actually quite devastating at the end there. And I think Nathan going in there unrehearsed was like a big part of like what made you really feel sorry for him there, because he was kind of struggling his way through it. So I don't know what the relevance of that is, whether he went in there on purpose to try and make it look not that great so that they could get the footage of this guy shooting him down so bluntly, like our first officer Blunt. Now, I'm already doing it. That came to an absolute screeching halt. And again, the way it was edited and the footage that they got, it looked like it was really, like, kind of being embraced a little bit. So that was fucked. That was terrible. It's interesting seeing the friction between Nathan and John Goglia, however we say his name. I mean, yeah, I believe that there would be friction between them. They come from very different backgrounds, and it was funny watching Nathan go back and Google himself and realize that his online presence does make him look like a bit of a joke. And he is a comedian, but in terms of comedians, he's the kind of one who does the most impressive, eye-catching, objectively interesting kind of stuff. The rehearsals in front of Congress were very interesting as well, with the joke that he was telling about that. I don't know what was going on with the laughs there, but they definitely got instructed to like over-exaggerate the laughter on that take, which I'm fine with. That's a part of like the TV show making process, and it was just hilarious watching the way that scene kind of played out. But if they were serious about that, they should have brought in a whole new group of actors and been like, listen, be as natural as you want, like you don't have to, like, you know, treat this like you're in Congress. Which I guess is then why people probably like, well, I shouldn't be laughing then, because I'm in Congress. But it was a great joke. And obviously the whole section talking about how the Rehearsal Series 1 was like a voice for people with autism, and then that whole section that was actually kind of wholesome and looked like it was probably doing some good. So it's nice to see a little bit of positive outcomes scattered throughout the Nathan For You / rehearsal universe. I don't even know what to call it. I hope you enjoyed this reaction. Let me know in the comments what your thoughts are. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Go to patreon.com/FWCI if you want a full-length version of this reaction and early access to whatever's going on. And as always, everyone, be well, stay safe, look after your friends, ta-ta, and farewell.